Hey y'all, welcome back to Living Black Podcast with your host
Ari.
and Nayla. We're so glad to have y'all back for another episode. Today's episode topic is hashtag present your future. And before we get started, let's start with our question of the day, which is what are your greatest accomplishments in life so far? Make sure y'all go answer that on our Instagram. It will be posted before this episode airs, and we are excited and interested to hear your greatest accomplishments in life so far. So let's get started with today's topic, present your future. Our first topic or subtopic is what do we see as our future with Living Black podcast? You want to go ahead and start, Ari?
I surely can. So, my future with Living Black podcast is hopefully one day we get to somewhere around 100 followers and listeners, and not followers on Instagram. I mean, like followers on YouTube and on Spotify. And hopefully one day we'll be able to maybe do a community event and feed the homeless one day, or possibly this is my biggest like dream with Living Black is to meet both of our mayors, so the mayor of Atlanta and the mayor of my city, Newark.
Yes, that would be so cool. So for me, I see Living Black podcast in the future as being one of those big podcasts that everyone knows about, and us being able to interview and have like special guests that are like well known within the Black community, because I think that would be very cool. And also what Ari said, like having like a big social following and having like more or having like a more engaged social audience on social media like Instagram and stuff.
Yes, it's certainly a dream. And, I definitely want to like get to know our followers and meet up with them one day and meet up with maybe a celebrity one day, like Whoopi Goldberg, or I know we won't get too close to Beyonce, but
Girl, that would be so cool to just like have like a little Living Black meet and greet with all of our supporters, and then maybe some Black, you know, famous Black people or whatever. That would be so cool.
yeah, it really would be cool, honestly.
All right, so our next subtopic is what do we personally want our individual futures to look like? What are our aspirations in life? So I'll go ahead and start for this one. So I personally want my individual future to look, or I just want to be like very accomplished in the future. I want to get a good education and get towards my dream job, which is a NICU nurse. And my aspirations in life are just to accomplish all of my dreams and pretty much make me, myself, and my parents proud. What about you?
Yes, of course, making your parents proud is the best thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for me personally, my individual future will probably look like me being a psychologist, having my own office, and talking to clients, and of course, getting paid for it. And being known as a Black psychologist, maybe in a low income city or in a city where a lot of Black people are underrepresented. And that way, I'll be able to give back to my community and people who support me and need my support, because the Black community actually needs a lot of mental health support, and it's not given in our communities, unfortunately. So that's one thing I definitely want to assist with. And I also want to be going to Howard University because HU, you know.
Okay, girl.
And hopefully, if my psychologist dream does not work out, I'll end up being a chef. So I already have a backup plan available.
That's cool. That's a good plan. So our next topic is our vision board, basically like a verbal vision board where we say where we see ourselves in a decade from now. And Ari, you can go ahead and start this one.
Okay, so in a decade from now, we're in 2021. So if the world still exists in 2031, um, I guess I'll see myself already graduated high school and college and hopefully living somewhere in Georgia because that's my dream location.
Okay.
And and hopefully like I said, being a psychologist and supporting my family the best way possible. And of course, giving back to my community and, fighting for social justice and, of course, women's rights and also protecting Black women. That's one thing I definitely want to do as well.
That's cool. So for me, I'll be 24 in 10 years, which is like, it actually doesn't feel that far away. But I see myself already graduated from high school, of course, and college, getting my nursing degree. And I just see myself serving our Black community within the healthcare system. Because as we said in our previous video or episode, make sure y'all go tune into that. Um, Black people aren't like, they're not well cared for in the health system. So I'm glad that I'll be able to work alongside and around Black mothers as they deliver their babies so I can like be there and support them and stuff because I know how it is within the healthcare system. But yeah, I just see myself as an independent woman um, going to work at the hospital, and that's just my vision board from 10 years from now.
Yes, 24, working hard, popping, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Black nurses rock, okay. Now,
Yes.
I have a question for you. Have you ever thought about being a doula?
I do not know what that is.
So a doula is like, do you know what a midwife is when it comes to birth?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what a doula is, but like in a different term or shape.
Okay. I've never really thought about it, to be honest. I'm more like wanting to work on the babies more than the moms. But like I would still be in a delivery room if the baby became premature. But it's definitely something I would look into because it's like kind of around the area that I'm looking to work in.
Yes. So a doula is actually someone that provides the mother and the family with like emotional, physical, informational support. So kind of like your best friend during giving birth.
Oh, that's actually really cool, especially for like Black mothers. Like if they had a
Yes.
Black doula.
Yes. I know a lot of Black mothers, they're having Black doulas and, avoiding going to the hospital, doing at home births or going to birthing centers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we can move on to our next question now, though.
All right. Our next question is if your dream doesn't go as planned or you are unable to follow your dreams, what is your backup plan? So for me personally, I haven't really thought of a backup plan that much because I'm like stuck to one thing. But if I had to think of a backup plan on the spot, I would probably go back to school and earn a degree in business somewhere along the sides of business because that's kind of like my second choice if the NICU nurse thing doesn't work out. How about you?
That's actually a good idea to go back to school and try something different.
Mm-hmm.
So my backup plan is I already said this earlier, but if I don't end up being a psychologist or I don't like the classes as a psych or I don't like the psychology classes in college, then my secondary plan is if the college that I'm at doesn't have a culinary program, then I'll end up going to a separate culinary school and getting a degree in culinary. So maybe one day I can open my own business or be a chef somewhere. And I'm looking to be a private chef because I'm already doing like a bunch of dishes of my own, like mac and cheese, rigatoni, things like that. I've
Mm-hmm.
already started on. So that's just a secondary dream that I have. And it's not something that I wouldn't hate to do either. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I've thought of for both of my plans, my go-to plan and my backup plan.
Okay, girl, I saw some of those meals that you made. They were looking good.
Thank you.
All right, so our last subtopic for today is what is one thing from the past that you wish you would have done differently that is impacting you now? You can go ahead and start this one first.
So, one thing that I've done in the past that I wish I would have done differently is I wish I would have took the opportunity to how do I explain this? I wish I would have took the opportunity to switch schools when I should have, because last year I was given the full opportunity to switch to a school that had what exactly I needed. They had a culinary program, they have psychology classes, and they also focus on what you want to do in your career and not just going to college.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, that's one of the things I was looking at in the school. But I am about to apply to that school this year. So hopefully I get in, but I wish I would have done it last year. So I'm not just stepping into the school next school year, having only 2 years left.
Yeah. So for me, there's not really anything that like impacts me too much. But if I would have to say something, it's less about like my future. And so it's kind of more about like um how I deal with relationships and like how my relationships are and friendships are. So basically in the past I wasn't much of a social person and I was like very quiet. And so like it kind of affects how my relationships and friendships go now. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. It's a little topic switcher from today.
Mhm.
But I'm glad we're both reflecting on what we want to see in our future and also what we want, what we would have changed if our past went differently. Do we have any other questions for today?
I think that's it. Yes. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all go and follow all of our social medias, which will always be linked in the description of this episode. And if you are able to, please spread the word about our podcast and our GoFundMe, which is also linked on our link tree. We appreciate all of the support lately and hope all is well with everyone. But for now, see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.